I realize by this point there's no excuse for my inability to fix the problems, but I have a feeling that it might actually have something to do with the software. So if you hear words getting cut off or it's sped up, the software I'm using, which is Anchor, does not allow me to correct any of that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please continue to listen to us. Take it away, Jesse.
At Odds is a podcast scheduled 3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit, and his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Hi, y'all, and welcome everyone to episode number 20 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel and Travis. Hey, yo, what's up?
And I do want to say thoughts and prayers go out to Scott Hall's family. Rest in peace, Chico.
Yeah, so we have 3 topics.
First one, Undertaker turning down fame 8 years ago.
Number 2,
Number 2, Cody's return may be a WrestleMania surprise.
maybe.
Potentially.
Number 3,
Bret Hart to join AEW as FTR's manager. Let's hop straight on in to topic number 1.
yes,
And I'm
you go first.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Undertaker could have, and in my opinion, probably should have joined the Hall of Fame in 2014, but he said no.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say that it would be kind of a weird time to retire, considering the next night the streak would have ended. It would have been perfect, but also
But he
Undertaker.
would have been elected to the Hall of Fame undefeated at WrestleMania.
Well, if he didn't lose to Lesnar, but yeah.
Yeah, but he would have been inducted before he lost.
Yeah, but I will say I can kind of see why Undertaker didn't want to go in 2014 because maybe he felt like he's like, no, I don't want to. He's like, maybe he knew that the streak was gonna. He's like, yeah, no, I want to go out on a higher note.
And also, Undertaker has said in the past that he wanted to go out the only way Undertaker
Could
should
go.
go out. And
And
maybe he didn't think that losing the streak to Brock Lesnar, who I believe we mentioned on an earlier podcast,
yes.
or when we were just on the phone with each other, that Lesnar didn't want to break the streak, but WWE had a stick up their butt.
You know Undertaker is well respected when even Brock Lesnar has respect for you.
I mean, yeah, and also Undertaker was like the judge in wrestlers' court.
Yeah.
I can just envision the Undertaker being like, "I hereby find you
Okay.
guilty."
I don't think the Undertaker would probably do it in character.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
Because he kind of sounds like that when he talks as a normal person.
Yeah. Because I will say Undertaker. Wait, shit, did you set the timer? Uh,
It's not going to be too long of an episode. We
I hope.
actually went a few seconds over last podcast.
Yeah. But anyway, Undertaker turning it down is. I will say, I have a lot of respect personally for the Undertaker, but the way he decided to go out about 2 years ago at this point, it made sense. He went out the
Yeah,
right way.
it was WrestleMania 2020, right?
Yep.
The Boneyard match.
Yep.
I mean, I can't think of a better way for The Undertaker to go out. I mean, admittedly, a casket match would have also been a good idea.
Yeah.
As long as, he doesn't set it on fire.
Yeah. But I will say, Undertaker turning it down is it's a bit interesting considering Undertaker was just I mean maybe Undertaker knew that he didn't think that he should have get inducted considering later that considering a battleground he would return and continue his feud with Lesnar.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. But wrestlers have come out of retirement before.
Yeah, true. But I think
Like,
Undertaker's
think about Macho Man. He was forced to retire out of WrestleMania. He returned.
but that was probably storyline purposes. But I think
Yeah,
Undertaker's retirement. I think Undertaker's retirement this time. It's like, yeah, I'm done.
yeah, I'm done being Vince's bitch. I don't want to chuck anyone off Hell in a Cell anymore. I've done that too
Oh,
many
okay,
times over my career.
okay. I don't think he was Undertaker Vince's bitch.
No, he was in the storyline against Shane.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Don't worry, everyone has. At least I think everyone has. I don't see anyone talking about it, especially with what Shane did at the Rumble.
Yeah, that's not important right now. But
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
so tell me, what are your thoughts on this, Undertaker? Your honest thoughts on Undertaker shutting it down in 2014.
I think he should have taken it because in 2014, people, the streak was still
A thing.
a thing. He was 21 and up.
Yes.
He had retired. If he had been inducted, and to be fair, people have been inducted into the Hall of Fame and still been active on the main roster before. In
Goldberg.
2008, Ric Flair was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, but the night before his retirement match at WrestleMania 24.
Okay, I really wouldn't call his retirement match with Ric Flair a retirement match, considering he go show up and wrestle for Impact.
Well, well, in storyline purposes, that was his retirement. Ric's storyline in 2008, by order of Vince, the next time he lost a match, he would
Yeah.
retire.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
And also, we've mentioned this before, WWE doesn't like to acknowledge other wrestling companies.
Unless they
Unless Mauro
sometimes.
Ranallo mentions New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he
Or
doesn't
like.
even work for WWE anymore.
Nope. But yeah, Undertaker turning it down. Well, I will say yes, it would have made perfect sense for him to be inducted in 2014. I will say I can kind of see why he thought. I could see why he didn't, because he probably knew he's like, I don't really feel like getting my career
And
that
and
way.
on and honestly, I will admit though I do think 2014 would have been better. I do see where he's coming from because when you think about it, the streak ending isn't the
The best.
perfect way for the Undertaker to go out.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but yeah,
We got
Undertaker.
about a minute left. Let's do our final thoughts.
You go first.
I've said my piece about it, and I
My
will
my
say I respect the Undertaker's wishes, and that's about all I can say about it.
my final thoughts are: I can see why Undertaker didn't, and I can see why he didn't want to do it in 2014. But I am glad he decided to accept the induction after he decided to permanently hang up the hat.
Yeah, or the jacket, boots, however you want to
Yeah,
say
well,
it.
whatever. Yeah, but yeah.
All I know is he's not going to be the only inductee this year.
What?
Undertaker should be the only.
Yeah.
But my timer just went off, so we're going to take a quick break before we move on to our next topic.
Yep. All right. Hey, yo. Welcome to episode. Welcome. Sorry.
Segment.
Welcome to welcome to segment number 2. Cody Rhodes possibly returning at WrestleMania is a bit of a surprise. My honest thoughts are, I mean, I know WWE likes to do it for the night after WrestleMania, but I think Cody Rhodes would be returning would be kind of interesting. And honestly, the best way I could see them doing it is have Seth Rollins throw out an open challenge and Cody Rhodes accepts.
Yeah,
That's the
but
best way I
here's
can.
my question. Riddle me this, Sir Executioner.
Okay.
What night?
Oh,
Because remember, WrestleMania is 2 nights this year.
again.
Again. Yeah, for like the third year in a row.
Yeah. My honest, I'd probably say I don't know, night 2, probably night 1, most likely night 1.
Yeah.
And I also see that no, would WWE have Cody Rhodes win his first match back in WWE after 5 years and start a program with Rollins?
I mean, it would mean Cody is a babyface. And like you've heard the crowds on Raw and like people are talking about WrestleMania and they don't have an opponent. People start chanting Cody, Cody, Cody.
Yeah, so tell me, what are your
Like
thoughts
that's
on?
going to manifest his random return.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are
Did you set the timer?
yes, I did.
Okay, just checking. Go ahead.
My thoughts are correct me if I'm wrong, but Rollins lost on Raw, right?
See.
Okay, so Rollins, as far as we know, still doesn't have a plan for WrestleMania.
Yes.
I think him versus Cody would actually be a pretty good match. Now,
Yeah.
if Rollins does throw out the open challenge and Kingdom starts playing, the people in Dallas are going to lose their minds. I'm going to lose my mind. But it would also mean Cody returns as a big, which you and I have talked about this before. We would like him as a heel.
Yes. Cody. Yeah. And I will, yeah. But I will say, Cody Rhodes could work well as either one, but my other honest thoughts on this is, whatever if Cody Rhodes does return at WrestleMania, and from another thing I've heard on Ringside News is, Cody Rhodes' plans is being kept top secret from creative.
Which is odd considering creative would be in charge of his storylines.
But yeah, that is something I've heard on Ringside News. But Cody, my thought is Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins does seem like a great match. And if Cody Rhodes does show up, I don't know if WWE would book Cody Rhodes properly, but I think after the run that he's had, maybe they will. But I believe that
Come
Cody
on,
was.
let's be honest. We both know WWE doesn't keep track of how people perform on AEW. Mainly because most of their stars that they royally screwed up have gone to AEW.
Yeah, but my honest thoughts are Cody. If he does show up to WrestleMania, yes, it would be a surprise. But if he does, but I don't think that WWE is gonna have him return as the Goldust character.
You mean Stardust?
Yeah, Stardust, whatever. But I honestly think that Cody Rhodes could have a great match, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it would be great if it's a WrestleMania surprise, but, and this is a big but, I would prefer it to be the Raw after Mania. Because to me, that always seems like the night of returns.
Or debuts.
Or debuts, yeah. Like I've been saying for weeks now, I'm pretty sure they're saving Veer Mahan for the Raw after Mania.
And if that doesn't happen,
then we're gonna rant about it on the podcast again.
Yeah, but
because seriously, people can put Veer in their universe mode on a WWE video game, and he'll debut on television.
Yeah, but Cody Rhodes, I also think that Cody Rhodes, if Cody Rhodes does return at WrestleMania, I believe that that it would be quite interesting for Cody to, go back to the WWE. But I don't know. I don't know if he will, but if he does, great.
Yeah, like RSN is saying, like, every week, Cody Rhodes stats from Monday Night Raw tonight. He's not backstage. You said that last week. Why would it be any different this week?
The last thing I will say, I honestly thought that Cody Rhodes would have showed up on Monday Night Raw in Jacksonville because that would have been one giant middle finger to AEW.
Yeah, and I will say that when I attended Raw, people were standing up during Miz TV because they thought it was going to be Cody's return.
And then we got the asshole though.
Because Miz mentioned a dashing tag team partner. Then when it was Logan Paul, I was like, I'm gonna sit down.
All right, yep, that's topic
But
number
we're gonna
2.
take a quick break before our final topic for this week.
Yep.
And we're back for the final topic. Bret Hart potentially becoming all elite.
My thoughts are, yes, my thoughts, it would be a big middle finger to Vince, even though they have mend their fences. But I will say it also would be kind of an interesting alliance with FTR.
Yeah. It definitely would. I agree with you 100%.
What are your thoughts on this?
It would be sort of a FU to Vince because, like, I'm not saying what. Because we know they don't really like each other. Like, I think they made amends after WrestleMania 26.
Yeah.
I know he at least Sean, but I'm not sure about Vince.
Yeah. But I mean, I also will. Well, what are your thoughts?
I just said them.
Okay.
But let's see, like what, like FTR, Wheeler and Cash Wheeler and wherever the other one's going by.
Yeah.
They they're a good tag team. Like we saw as the Revival in WWE, and now FTR.
Mhm.
So
I mean,
and sorry, people, we're a little thrown off.
yeah. Well, we're not gonna tell you why because that's really none of your business. But
Yeah, it's just sometimes this program likes to screw.
yep. But my thoughts on this is if Bret Hart joins FTR, and this is something I really need to ask, but would that turn Bret Hart heel considering that FTR is a heel tag team?
I
Or
mean,
that
I
should
mean,
then be
either turn Brett heel or FTR face.
yeah. Because I honestly thought that was a question that needed to be asked. And another question is, hey, if Bret Hart does go to All Elite, I just hope Tony Khan is willing to pay him a shit ton of money.
Yeah, that is something I concur with.
Yes. I also believe that that Bret Hart could pass a lot more wisdom to FTR and maybe I guess make them even more of a great tag team because I gotta be honest here, folks. Well, we knew FTR was a great tag team under the WWE umbrella. They've kind of proven that WWE dropped the ball with them, to be honest. That's a team that they dropped the ball with.
Yeah. But that's WWE these days, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. My honest thoughts are, another thought I will say is, FTR is a good team, and I believe that even if they don't get Bret Hart as a manager, that I believe that they will find a way back into, we haven't really seen them a whole. Last time we saw them, they part ways with their manager, so we haven't really seen them in a bit.
Yeah, and their return to be a face turn, if you will.
I mean, it would
I
be
highly doubt it because AEW, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got about a minute left. Let's wrap up our final thoughts. And yeah.
Final thoughts is while it would be cool if Bret Hart became FTR's manager, I also believe that even if he does it, that FTR will probably find a devious way to become the first ever two-time AEW Tag Team Champions. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts, I've mentioned this before. I watched AEW for a few weeks when it started, couldn't really get into it. But now that I am into it, and seeing all these guys that I watched in WWE make the jump, like Christian Cage, Keith Lee, etc., you get the gist. I wouldn't be surprised if a WWE legend like Bret Hart made the jump, but also I'm not sure. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all our topics for this week. Let's roll that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
and the Executioner,
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis21, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussion. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.